Okay, we've got to talk about the Nazca mummies. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, Daily Mail is reporting on the Nazca mummies again. Scientists have managed to extract one of the metal implants from one of the hands. Dissection has begun on hands from one of Peru's hotly debated alien mummies, seen in an eerie new video revealing bones and odd metallic structures. I guess this is the video they're talking about, where you can see the actual dissection of this hand. And I really kind of hate that they're dissecting these things. There's really not that many of them. But, you know, it is what it is. And as you can see, I think what they show right there is the implant itself. You'll see how moist it looks here. Well, the article goes on to describe why it looks so moist. The scientists have rehydrated it. Apparently that's a thing to make removing the the implant easier. But yeah, anyway, it's a good article. It didn't really tell us much because we don't know what the results are of studying this implant, but we do know that the implant has been removed, and the media is talking about it. That is huge. Just by itself, that is huge. Josh McDowell, the son of Dr. McDowell, who is studying the mummies, who won the equivalent of the Nobel Prize in Forensic Science. Dr. McDowell is the gentleman who, no less than Gary Nolan said, was exactly the sort of person we need studying the mummies. Well, his son, who's an attorney and seems to be representing them, said this. There is a way to obtain definitive answers to what these specimens are through genetic testing and additional forensic examination, McDowell emphasized. So I think he may be quoting his dad. It would mean a true collaborative effort with a multidisciplinary team of scientists working with the Peruvian Ministry of Culture, yeah, good luck, to complete the studies legally, ethically, and with respect to the cultural heritage of Peru. Yeah, legally and ethically is a challenge. Tim Burchett seems to have been alluding a little bit to that in a recent interview. So let's give a listen to what Tim said. Tim, of course, was going to help Jaime Maussan and the scientists study the specimens here. Danny Sheehan had said there were, specimens in the U.S. or parts of specimens in the U.S. There was material from specimens in the U.S. It wasn't clear if he meant that was, the Tim Burchett, helping the scientist story, or if that was an independent effort. But let's see what Tim has to say.
You're still interested in the Nazca mummies? Because I heard talk that you might be joining the team, or at least in some way kind of getting involved in research.
There's some problem with that, and I checked into that. We have the best anthropology departments here in Knoxville, Tennessee, in the world, actually. University of Tennessee, Dr. Bill Bass, world-famous anthropologist. His son, Jim, and I, Jim, we grew up together. We both grew up on Bennington Drive in Knoxville, Tennessee. Neither one of us live there now, of course, but he created helped build a great department. And they have explained to me some things, and there's problems with who owns those things. They're out of Peru, apparently, and folks in Mexico have control of them. And so there's some ethical concerns that are being in play right there. So again, all that.
Yeah, so that's the problem is how do you get them out of Peru? How do you get them across the borders, even from Mexico? It's a problem, especially if they are cultural relics or artifacts of Peru, if that's how they label them. How do we get them across the border legally and ethically to be studied by Western scientists? It seems like you pretty much have to go down there to study them, and you have to be allowed to study them. Dr. McDowell has been able to do that. But not everybody is going to be willing to make that journey, unfortunately. However, there is more good news. This is really cool, guys. As Gonzalo Chavez reports, the University of Ica's faculty has released their second peer-reviewed paper on the non-human specimen known as Maria. That's right. Here we go. Here's the second peer-reviewed paper on a non-human. That's huge, guys. The second peer-reviewed paper on a non-human. We are living in the age of disclosure, guys. But only if people take notice. Now, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody is there to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, we've got a big old disclosure-shaped tree falling right now, and not enough people have been noticing that it is making a sound. Very frustrating. The implications of the research. It is concluded that the combination of uncommon morpho-anatomical features in the maxillofacial and cranial massif do not correspond to a human craniofacial biotype, but could be considered as suggestive findings of morpho-anatomical features typical of a hominid species similar to humans. Similar, guys, but not exact. All right, well, let's move on to the discussion. Oh, there's the conclusions, but the discussion has some interesting features. It talks about the cranial capacity, 30% more cranial volume, and it is deduced that it has approximately 30% more brain mass, including a larger brain volume. Therefore, it is binding to emphasize that from the point of view of ontogeny and phylogeny, the development in greater, I said that right, in greater relative size of the brain may be associated with higher levels of intelligence. In primates and humans, in this line of ideas, believe that Delius and Adolphs believe there is an association between brain size and animal body size. Anyway, basically, these beings, or the ones with larger brains, may have been smarter than we are. Now, does that mean the little guys are less smart? Because, if they had metal implants in them or technological implants, if they put those implants in themselves, that would certainly indicate that they were smart. But we don't know if they put them in themselves, how intelligent indeed they were. They were humanoid, and since they have 2 arms and 2 legs, but were the little guys intelligent? Some say they are still around, and there's definitely some suggestive evidence to indicate the little guys, or something associated with the little guys, or similar to the little guys, are indeed still around. Are they intelligent? The lore, the mythology on little beings, the fairies and gnomes and so on, seems to indicate they're smart. So if those legends are based on something real, and if those real things are related to the Nazca beings or something similar, then the little guys seem to be smart. So interesting, right? But either way, Maria and the other big brains seem to have been more intelligent, potentially, than humans. Goes on to talk about how they had dental work done, which I've talked about before. Maria had a dentist. That's right, Maria had a dentist. It talks about that in here somewhere, but I don't want to bore you too much. I'll let you read it all yourself. But the conclusions, cephalometric analysis allowed to diagnose the sagittal skeletal pattern of MO1, Maria, through the A and B angle, which resulted in a class 2 skeletal pattern. Oh my God, yeah, it's dry, guys. It's dry, but it is, the upshot is that they don't seem to be human. That their unique skull shapes, their true elongated heads, were not the product of skull binding. That they had, technology, at least as far as dentistry goes and implants go. They were technological beings. Some of them may have been more intelligent than humans, maybe, but again, I have that question about the little guys. Is it possible the brain is simply an antenna or receiver of consciousness, and that these beings have cracked that code and have been able to, create beings with full intelligent consciousness on a small scale? Is that possible? All speculation until we can get one of these guys to sit down and give us an intelligent interview. Hey, always possible, guys. Always possible. We are living in the age of disclosure. Either way, there is a second peer-reviewed paper on non-humans. This is amazing. This is gangbusters. We have dissections of beings' hands and implants extracted, being reported on by major news media. We have Congress people talking about this and trying to get things done on it. Whether they're successful or not, who will ultimately know? Or I guess we will ultimately know. But who knows now? Who knows now? But either way, encouraging signs, guys. We are living in the age of UFO disclosure, but more people need to be talking about this. But more people are talking about this. I'm seeing more and more newspaper articles on it, more and more people talking about it on Reddit and Twitter, etc. This seems to be going mainstream. The Nazca beings seem to be going mainstream. I love it. This is huge. This is UFO disclosure, guys. These beings did not originate naturally on Earth. That would be the hugest fossil gap in the in recorded history. Not just one fossil gap, but since there are multiple species, Jaime Maussan says there are 7 different species. That's a record gap times a fossil record gap times 7. All located in that one area, although they do seem to have had a global presence as well. It's just amazing, guys. I love it. This is the way, guys. This is the way. The U.S. government and probably no government will ever release the truth of UFOs. So who do we have to look to? Tomb Raiders from South America, providing disclosure, because of course that's the way it had to happen. It is what it is, guys. But let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below. I'm also a science fiction and fantasy novelist. To see the link below, you might have some fun if you enjoy those kind of books. You can also become a channel member, because channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.